Day 3, Chapter 6. Oh, little praise! Bit by bit I come to understand the secret of your little life. You long time you have found your only entertainment in the cool pleasure of looking at the city. I learned that new delight on the morning of the fourth day when you said to me, I am very fond of something. Come let us go looking at something now, but we must wait a set. What for what? For what? For the sunset. We must wait until it is time. At first you seemed to be very much surprised, and then you laughed to yourself. You said to me, I am very things. I am always things that I am at home. Just so everybody knows that when it is not in the honest state, the sun is setting over French. If you could write to friends, in 1 minute you could go straight in the sunset, right from now. Unfortunately, French is too far away for that. But on your tiny planet, my little prince, all you need to do is move your child a fresh steps. You can see the day and the thrilling feeling whenever you like. One day you said to me I saw the sunset 44 times. A little later you added, you know one loves the sunset when one is so sad. Were you so sad then? I asked on the day of the 34th sentence, but the little prince made no reply. Chapter 7. On the 50th day again, as always, it was thanks to the child. The secret of the little prince's life was received to me. A brevity, brutal and nothing to learn up to it, and as if the question had been brought to log and talent mediant on his problem, he demanded. A chef if it ate little birds, does it flowers too? I chef, I am swearing, as it's anything it finds in this rich, every flower that ever thorns. Yes, every flowers that have thorns. Then the thorns? What use are they? I didn't know. At the moment I was very busy, trying to unscrew a love that had got stuck in my hands. I was very much worried, for it was become clear to me that the breakdown of my planning was extremely serious, and I had to little drinking water left that I had to fear for the world. The thoughts, where else are they? The little priest never let go of a question. Once he had asked it. As for me, I was up over that boat, and I answered with the first thing that came into my head. The terms are of no use. All flowers have thorns used for spade. Oh, there was a moment of complete silence. Then the leader's prince flashed back at me with a kind of reservedness. I didn't I don't believe you flowers are weak creatures. They are native. They resolve themselves as best they can. They believe that there is doors and terrible vapor. I did not answer. And that instant I was saying to myself, if this ball star won't tour, I am going to know it all with the hype. Again the leader priest destroyed my thoughts. And you actually believe that the flops? Oh no, I cried. No, no, no. I don't believe anything. I answered you with the first thing that come in my head. Don't you see? I am very busy with my matters of consequence. He stared at me through the struck matters of consequence. He looked at me there with my hammer in my hand. My friends black with any grace, um, braided though over an object which seemed to him extreme only. You talk just like the grown-ups that made me a little me, but he went on relentlessly. You mix everything up together, you confuse everything. He was really very angry. He tossed his golden curls in the breeze. I know a planet where there is a center right said gentleman. He was never answered a flower. He has never looked at a star. He was never loved anyone. He has never done anything in his life but add up figures. And all day he says over and over just like you. I am used with master of concern, and that makes him sway up with pride. But he is not a man, he is a muse. A what? A museum. The little priest was now writing way right. The flowers had been writing thoughts for millions of years. For millions of years the sheep have been eating them just the same, and it is not a matter of concern to understand why the flowers go to so much trouble to go through which are never of any use to them. Is the warfare better the sheep and the flowers not important? It is not of more consequence that a fat red face greater man's sons, and if now I myself one flower which is unique in the world, which grows nowhere but on my planet, will but which one leadership can destroy in a single bit some morning without ever notice what he is doing. Oh, you think that is not important? His face turning from white to red, he continued. If someone loves a flower, of which just one single rose grows in the millions and millions of stars, it's enough to make him happy just to look at the star. He can say to himself somewhere, my flower is there, but if the shark eats the flower, in one moment all his star will be darkened, and you think that is not important. He couldn't not say anything more. His words were choking by some. Then I had failed. I had let my thoughts drop from my hands. Of what moment now was my hand, my both of truth or death, on one star, one planet, my planet, the earth. There was a little piece to be confirmed. I took him in my arms. I rocked him. I said to him, the flower that you love is not in danger. I will drive you a mouse for your share. I will drive you ready to pull around your flower. I will. I didn't know what do you say to him. I feel awakened but blundering. I didn't know who I couldn't reassure him, where I could overtake him and go half in half with Queen once more. It is church, our sacred praise, the Lord of Thirst. Chirp 9, 8. Chirp 8. I soon learned to know this flower better. On the little priest's planet, the flower had always been very same. They had only one ride of planet. They took up no roof at all. They were too nobly. One morning they wouldn't appear in the glass, and by night they wouldn't have faded precisely away. But one day, from a safe brow, from no one near, where a new flower had come up, and the little priest had watched very closely over this small spot which was not like any other small spot on his planet. It meant Jersey had been a new king of Baobab. There were some stopped drawing and began to get ready to press a flower. The little priest, who was present at the priest's appearance of a grown boat, felt all once that some sort of miraculous apparent must emerged from it. But the flower was not satisfied. To complete the preparations for her beauty in the shelf of her greeting shirt, she chose her colors with the great care. She dressed herself slowly. She adjusted her balance one by one. She didn't know wish to go out into the world unruly, like the field popular. It was only in the full radiance of her beauty that she wished to appear. Oh, yes, she was a coquettish creature, and his mysterious abdomen lasted for days and days. Then one morning, exactly, and sorry, she shouldn't show herself. And afterward, with all this parting pression, she joined and said, "Oh, I am scarcely awake. I wait that you will excuse me. My petals are asleep and discerning." But the little prince could not rest his admiration. "Oh, how beautiful you are!" "I'm not," the flower responded slyly, "and I was born at the same moment as the sun." The little prince could goose eyes and know that she was not only too modest, but how moving and exactly she was. "I think it's time for breakfast," she agreed an instant later. "If you couldn't have the courage to think of my needs." And the little prince completely amazed when to look for a sprinkling can of fresh water, so he tended the flower. So too she began very clean, cleanly to torment him with her vanity, which was, if the her true we know, a little difficult to deal with one day. For instance, when she was speaking of her four tomes, she said to the little priest, "The little tigers come with their cubs. There are no tigers on my planet." The little prince observed, "And anyway, tigers no do not eat owls." "I am not aware," the flower replied spryly. "Excuse me, I am not afraid of tigers," she went on, "but I have a horror of dry. I surprise you wouldn't have ice cream for me." "I'm not all of tiger," she went on, "but I have a horror of drive. I surprise you wouldn't have ice cream for me." A horror of drive that it's bad look for a plane, reminded the little priest, and admitted to himself this flower is a very complex creature. At night I want you to put me under a glass globe. It is very cool where you live, in the place I come from, but she interrupted herself at that point. She had come in front of herself. She could not have known anything of any other word. Embraced all were having let herself be caught on the verge of shore and navy under. She called 2 or 3 times in order to put the little priest in the screen. I was just going to look for it when you spoken to me. Then she forced he could a little more so that he shouldn't suffer from remorse just the same. So the little prince, in spite of all the goodwill that was inspired from his love, had soon come to doubt her. He had taken serious work which were of importance, and it made him very unhappy. I ought not to have listened to her. He confessed to me one day. One never ought to listen to the flowers. One should simply to look at the trail and breathe their fragrance. Many perfumes on my planet, but I didn't know who to take place in all her grace. This tale of gloves, which destroys me so much, shouldn't only have filled my head with tenders and pitch. And he continued his confessing. The factor is that I did not know who to insert anything. I ought to have jumped by words and not by words. She cast her from fragrance and her radiance over me. I ought never to have run away from here. I ought to have guessed all the affection that liberated her poor leader is slightly. Flowers are so inconsciently, but I was too young to know who to love her.